So today's video is not so much about gardening, but more along the lines of decorating. And I'm not showing you how to do anything. It's not a DIY because I don't even know if the idea that I have is going to actually turn out. So I volunteered to decorate the church that Aaron and I go to for Christmas, and more specifically the auditorium. And it's this gigantic room with a huge background, so whatever I end up doing needs to be big. And I've had an idea in my brain for the last few years, and I'm excited to try it to see if it'll actually work out. So the first thing that I need to do is go gather up some supplies. Gathering up everything I need. I've got the base pieces for the sign and some of the stuff for the framing. Just gotta pick up a few more pieces of molding. But look at this crown, isn't this beautiful? This is going to be really pretty if it turns out how I think it's going to. I've got everything on my list. I can't really decide on the paint though. I want to have a gold frame, but there's so many different ones. I think that'll work. Okay, Home Depot done. Now we go home and clean up the garage. So the plan is along this wall right here, I'm going to be hanging the boards up. I've got 3 pieces of 4x8 plywood, and I really wanted to make a great big impact sign. I'm used to doing huge signs, huge chalkboard signs really, but I haven't done a 12x8 before. So this will be a little bit of a challenge. I'm gonna hang the boards up on that wall, and it'll make it a lot cleaner and easier for me to paint. And then the plan is to do a huge, like, antique gold frame around it if I can execute. So let me turn the camera around real quick. I'll show you the process here, I'm thinking. So I've got some this is 1x8s right here. Yeah, I've got 4 1x8s, and then these little pieces are gonna be running right along there. And then I've got this beautiful crown molding right here that I'll be attaching. So the whole purpose of this piece is just to bump that crown up a bit so it's not flat. And then right inside the crown, I've got this piece of rope molding that will happen. So that will run about here. So crown, the rope molding, then there'll be a blank spot where I'm gonna run black velvet ribbon, and then another piece of the rope molding. And then to transition from molding to, or from frame to the actual picture, I've got a piece of this right here. So it kind of graduates down from that. Like, I don't just want a sharp edge right there. So this will kind of make it softer. And then I'm not sure if I'm gonna try to make it look like the picture is matted, like with a cream matting. I would really love to be able to do that, but I'm not sure. So the goal tonight is to get the frame built so I can start painting tomorrow. And it's really cold in here. It's like nighttime. It's getting really dark outside, so I don't know how long I'm gonna last without a heater anyway. So here we go. Okay guys, I'm gonna call it a night. It is 35 degrees out here now, and I can hardly feel my face. So I'll show you how far I got though. Look at how huge this frame is. I love it. I got the bulk of it done. So you can see I've got the crown attached to the 1x8 as well as one of the rope pieces of molding. And then I stopped there just because 1, I'm freezing cold, and 2, I can't decide. I know I want to have like either fur or black velvet, a stripe of it or a strip of it along the whole length, around the whole width of the frame. But I don't know if I want to make it real thin or make it wider and then put this piece and then do cream right here and then do another piece of molding in there like that. I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna sleep on it and see how I feel in the morning. So the whole goal of this project is to make it look kind of Renaissance antique-ish, really like beautiful materials, lots of detail in the molding and fur and black velvet and gold paint, gold fabric. I've got 2 huge brown clay, black clay pots that I'm going to be putting a bunch of stuff in next to them. But I just want it to go more, I guess, kind of fancy. I'm not doing any lighting, no special lighting, no twinkle lights. I might, if I can find some really neat candelabras, I might do that. but I just want it to look kind of old school. So far so good. I'm calling it a night. Okay, so I forgot to turn the camera on to capture any of the hanging of this thing, but you can see I've got 2 of my 4x8 pieces of board hung, and then some of the molding. I don't have it all done yet, so here's the deal. I actually was going to do an 8x12 sign, and I'm kind of disappointed that I'm not able to do that great big of a sign, but the image that I was thinking of doing, the nativity I was gonna do, is more square shaped than it is tall, so it wouldn't have fit the 8x12 appropriately. It would have looked really out of proportion. So I swear, I think more in like Instagram when I think of images and stuff, like the square image rather than anything else. So that's what I'm going with. I ended up cutting down the 2 side pieces of molding down to 8.5 feet. So it'll be about 8.5 by 8.5 in the end. But I think it'll look good because it will look proportioned. So let me show you a little closer. So there's the last 12 footer I need to cut. But it's all coming together really well. Everything's looking really good. Of course, crown makes the cuts a little bit weird. So I will be adding some embellishments up here just to kind of cover. I have some black velvet, you know, like I said earlier, there's going to be black velvet right here. So it will cover a lot of the corner area. And then I will have my little wood embellishments up there too, so you won't even notice any spacing weirdness up there. But just getting these boards up there was a feat. I had to get Aaron involved, and Aaron does not appreciate projects like this very much as far as like having to be the muscle to help. So, but he willingly did it. He came out here and helped me hang these boards twice because we hung them the first time and they weren't quite level, so we had to take them both down and hang them again. So anyway, tonight I'm going to hang the last piece of molding and get some of the stuff painted so that I can start painting my nativity. All right, board's up, the frame is done, so now I'm gonna start to paint. And I'm just using a satin bear in black and these little brushes. Outside. Oh, you wanna go outside, buddy? Oh, he just took off. Oh, up the tree, look at him. Okay. Got it all loaded up and we're headed to the church. Well, we'll be at the church probably in like 10-15 from now. Okay, sweet. All right, bye. So my mom is coming to meet us to help hang the sign, and when my mom is there, I know it's gonna get done in like not twice the time, half the time. All right, so this is gonna be right where it's gonna go. So it's gonna go right dead center in the middle here, and then on either side, I'm gonna have 2 big stacks of cinder blocks covered with really pretty fabric, and 2 great big pots full of branches. So it'll be pretty simple, but I think effective because of how big the sign is. I'm at a stopping point right now, so we've got to go get all of the other supplies. So I've got to go get the pots and the cinder blocks. We didn't have enough room in the truck. Anyway, we're gonna go take a break and go do all that. All right, we're back at the church today to finish up, to put some finishing touches on the decorations. I did decide to hang up a little bit of fabric behind the pots, just for a little bit of extra pop and shine without having lights. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm unloading the truck right now. So Mom is cutting this giant piece of fabric in half by eye. How do you feel about that, Mom?
I'm not real comfortable.
It's looking pretty darn good. I would have it all sorts of wavy and not in half. So here are some of the greens I'm going to put in the pots, and there's my mom. She came up to help me Hey, Mom. So we decided to put fabric panels behind both of the pots here. And this is the fabric. Isn't that pretty? It'll bring a richness and some shine without having twinkle lights. So that's the plan. All right, so Mom is wrangling the ladder, and my mother-in-law Sue is here. And she's helping us getting the fabric level. So look at, or centered, I should say, behind the pots. So here we go.
Okay. You're gonna have to edit this big time.
It's all right. Erin will just be proud that we got it. That's all I'm going for right now.
Okay.
You got it?
Yep.
All right. Don't throw me down. Yeah. Don't let me go into the frame either. That will.
I won't.
Okay, it's all done. Let me flip the camera around so you can see what it looks like. I love how it turned out. I think it filled up the space just perfectly. And to be honest, I think that if it were any taller, like if I would have done it 12 feet, it would have been a little bit too big. I think it's the right proportion. And so let me get close on the frame so you can see kind of what it looks like all done. So there's the crown, and then there's a piece of rope molding, and then I just ended up using black acrylic paint for that spot, and then another piece of rope molding, and then this piece that kind of angles down so it was a nice graduated angle down into the plywood. And you can see when you get close on this wood that I just used the straight up cheap $12 a sheet plywood. If I did it again, I would probably spring for the more expensive board that's nice and smooth, because this one was really, really hard to paint. There's so many, like, I don't know, so many cracks and crevices that I ended up having to blot most of the paint on. So just like blot, blot, blot to fill all of those spots. And it was near impossible to get straight lines, which is kind of important because like all of these arches in the design needed to be somewhat straight. I am thankful though. Let me flip the camera back around and I'll show you what the auditorium looks like. So everybody sits quite far away. So even if the lines aren't perfect, nobody can tell. Okay, so the rest of it, the pots here, they're black clay pots. They're really heavy black clay, perfect for this display. I think they're the right scale. And we used red twig dogwood and then some seeded eucalyptus right here. And then there's some cedar and some princess pine and some noble fir tips. Look at focus right there. And then to bring a little sparkle, we went to Joann's, my mom and I actually. She helped me with the second part of this. We got some of these kind of decorative picks with the gold leaves and their sugared apples. Get focused. I think that was really a key thing to bring a little sparkle so it didn't look so flat. And the other thing was, we got the, I got the sign up and the pots in place, and then I laid in bed that night thinking, it's just not quite done. It's not quite like, there isn't that textural richness. And so we went, when my mom and I went and picked up those decorative picks, we also went and picked out some fabric to hang next to the sign. Let me get close on it. So it's like this tan linen with a gold metallic design. Look at how pretty that is. And I think it's just perfect to have a little gold here, little gold there, and a little gold in the pots. Anyway, I think it turned out really just like I was thinking. I'm so thankful. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's really different from our normal ones, but it was fun to do a different project and show you guys another part of what we do in our life. So I hope you guys are all enjoying your holiday season, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.